going on, guys? It's Chris.
Ryan.
And we're SVT Garage. Today's podcast, I think, is going to be a good one. Well, we always say that, so
yeah,
sure
it's always a good one.
It's always a good one. We're talking about cars, and you got friends talking about cars, right? But we've seen a little bit of the interest. You guys have gauged some interest in it, and today's topic, let's get right into it. 96, 98 non-Terminator Cobras. Mm-hmm. We'll go with that.
Yeah, B-head cars.
B-head 4-valve car, non-Terminator.
Had a couple people kind of comment in the few different videos, what about, 96, 98? How do we get to 450 wheel?
Yep.
So there's definitely ways to do that. Like anything, you've got to plan your route if you want to stay NA or forced induction.
Correct.
I think getting to 450 wheel NA on a B-head car is going to be extremely expensive.
It's going to be an expensive route. And
I mean, even the C-head cars with, extreme ported head intake manifolds and cams by SVT. He was pretty big on SVT performance back in the day.
Yeah.
Those cars were making a little over 400.
Yeah.
If you want to do it NA, you've got to start in the bottom end. You've got to do high compression.
Yep.
You've got to be 10.5, 11 to 1, E85. And that's just, you're not going to get.
And what are we talking? So obviously fuel system.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking injectors. So let's say you just go lethal budget kit. How much is that?
The lethal budget kit.
1,300.
It's more than that. It's like $2,300
bucks.
Yeah, because you've got to get injectors.
Oh, I'm just talking about just
the fuel rail, just the lines, the regulator, the pumps, and then if you don't get the box, you just get their relay control, like the basic relays. I think it's like $1,800.
Okay, and then you probably go on the budget end of injectors, maybe some FICs, which tried and true
1000s or
tried and true injector. I'm running them. You're running them.
Everybody here is running them.
They're a lot cheaper than.
I won't run
the
IDs. Yeah, I won't run IDs
you had that
after
that
I had my experience with them.
So you're probably over $2,000, $2,500 for that lethal kit, the budget kit with injectors, and then now you're talking bottom end rotating assembly. You doing the work yourself, or you having a shop do it?
Yeah.
So if you're going to drop it off at a shop, you guys have to expect if you've got $3,000 in parts. You're probably looking at $4,000 in labor.
Oh yeah, you gotta go stroker.
Yeah.
High compression pistons. E85 possibly if you want to really get there. Doing 450 wheel NA on a 4.6 with a B head is going to be a tough challenge. Definitely going to need cams. Yeah. Definitely going to need ported intake, ported heads. Full exhaust.
Cams without any of the accessories, you're looking around $1,500 to $1,800. That's with just the cams getting delivered to your house. That's nothing else to go with it.
Installs another $3,000.
Yeah, again, doing it yourself.
Now, if you do it when the motor's out, obviously it's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
But I think you could hit 400 mid fours on E85 with a high compression built motor. The other option is put a blower on it. Get do the fuel system, do a Vortec, a Pro Charger P1.
Yep.
You don't need a D1 on a stock 4.6.
Too much.
96 and 98 Cobra. It's too much blower. A P1 is a good street blower, I think. A Novi 2000 would be too big. Maybe a Novi. I think they have a 1200.
Mm-hmm.
Paxton's a great blower. So there's options there. And then, the other option is if you can find it, I'm pretty sure Kenny Bell made a 2.1, I think it was.
Is there a name for that one? Or I'm thinking
it was a Blowzilla.
Blowzilla, which is the one. I know,
that's old school.
I know the Blowzilla was 100% for the.
They had it for the Fox body.
For the Fox bodies. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know if the name changed for that, the 96, 98 style, but that, that Kenny Bell would do pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't really know if they make.
I don't know if anybody makes
like a Whipple
an adapter kit to run a C-head roots blower on a B-head car. I don't know
Probably have to change the
lower intake manifold you'd have to have some kind of spacer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not well versed in behead stuff to talk about it, but in that depth,
you could change.
Yeah.
Get some heads.
Then you're doing a C head swap.
Yeah.
But the B heads are good. It's a good flowing head.
Let's stay maybe on the topic of, you have a 96, 98 Cobra. You're not switching the heads. You're not going to throw money in the cams. You're not going to do a bottom end. You have to go power adder.
I'm going on 3 turbo.
I was going to say on 3 turbo, because on 3 they have they're not as you spend more on the Hellion stuff. That the R&D on that, maybe it's the R&D fits very well. The on 3 stuff, I've helped install some on 3 kits on some other Mustangs, new edge stuff, and there's a little modifying you have to do. It's not major, it's not crazy.
So I had an on 3 kit on my 01 that I put on, and it was a later generation kit. It was the forward facing kit.
Oh, it's forward facing.
It was the forward facing, but it was a later generation. It wasn't the early stuff that had a lot of fitment problems.
Maybe I did one on my buddy's new edge car, and I wouldn't say there was a slew of problems. There was enough hangups where you're like, oh my god, again. Didn't hadn't messed with one after that. So hopefully maybe they got a little better. But the price on them,
you can't beat the price.
You can't beat the price.
It's cheaper than a blower.
Yep.
Than some of the Vortec or Paxton or Pro Charger kits. So if I'm building a 96 to 98 Cobra, stock bottom end, stock heads, I'm doing an on 3 kit.
What fuel system?
With a fuel system. The thing to think about when you're doing an on 3 kit or any turbo kit is now you're getting into K-member stuff.
Yeah.
The on 3 kit is very specific on which K-members it will work with. For the new Edge car, it was the QA1 that I had to run. Some of the K-members have reinforcements where the piping comes through and you can't use it.
Right.
So I'm going on 3 kit and fuel system, the next, suspension K-member, control arms. The next thing to think about there too is now you're getting into lost my train of thought.
You're talking about K-member.
Turbo sizing.
Yeah.
Don't do what everybody does and go with an 88 millimeter turbo.
First of all, if you're only trying to make 400 and you have a stock motor, don't make that mistake. You don't need it.
You need a 70 trim with like a 90 something AR ratio, something that spools like that. My Cobra had a 76 with a 96 AR on the 01. And now that setup never ended up getting tuned. I put it all together and then I ended up parting everything out. Yeah. Sold the motor, sold the trans, everything. It was a roller. Yeah. Sold the turbo kit. Joe ended up with it. I had too many problems with that car, and I was just at a point in my life where I was done with it. Yeah. So size, if you're going to turbo anything, size your turbo correctly.
Yeah.
You don't want a Supra that makes 1,600 horsepower but takes 10 minutes to spool.
Yeah, that's you're killing the.
You're already the twin screw or the properly set up Sentry car is already 3 cars ahead of you.
You're not running. I don't care how much power you got. You're not running that down.
It takes a lot of power to run somebody down. A lot. So if you're gonna do it, size your turbo correctly. That's the best advice that I can give you. The other thing that we didn't mention, gears. Yeah. You can really wake up the 96, 98 cars with a good set of gears.
Yeah. I think that 410.
373. I had 373s in my 01.
I would say 373s for the street. I went with the 410s on a Fox and actually bumped down to a 355 because if you guys go to the junkyard and you find do a little research on this because I can't remember off the top of my head. The Explorers came with 355 gears and they will bolt right into an 88. And you can get them for peanuts at the junkyard.
What years?
I can't remember.
Because I know the older ones came with 373s.
There was a recall when I used to work at the Ford dealership. So I was at the dealership somewhere around 04 to 06. So the prior years to that, there's a recall on their the rear ends, they were just chunking them. They were throwing them away. I was going in there taking them out of the pile because they were 355s. I mean, what's the difference between 355 and 373 on a car that's making 330 horse? Not much. Right. You know, my Fox Bar at the time was head cam intake.
Yeah.
And I went from those 410s down to those 355s, and it was noticeably different than the stock. To comment below, Fox body guys, like 285, 295. I can't remember what the stock Foxes run. Noticeably different, and you can get them at the junkyard for peanuts. And do you know what years came with the 73s?
I know it was 04 because I did that axle swap for my Comanche. That's what I got. Yeah, it was an 04 Explorer rear end with 373 gears.
And it was 73s.
Posi, yeah. So gears are another option. The other thing you got to think about is clutch. Trans. Yeah. 400, you're probably going to be, your T5 will probably be okay for a bit. That's what came in those, right? T5?
Yeah, I think your T5 is probably, you're on the higher end of pushing that limit to that T5. They're not really, if you're going to try to hit that 455, 100, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, I'd say 450 is probably the ceiling on the stock bottom end. I'd be content at 400. Yeah. So there's definitely options out there to do it. NA, I don't think you can do it on stock bottom end, especially on 93. Yeah. But the 96, 98 Cobra is an unbelievable platform. In my opinion, besides the Terminator, that's one of the best looking Mustangs.
Yeah, I
want a 1997 Pacific Green Cobra. That is on my bucket list.
I sent him one 2 weeks ago on Marketplace. There was one, and it had I think it had 90,000 miles on it. It had some wheels. The wheels, they were not like, I don't think something you and me run. It had some aftermarket cheap wheels on it. But it was a color.
That's a great color.
And it comes with the tan interior, and it was a really good looking car.
I tried to get one before I got my 01 when I was back in high school, and so. Before I get another Terminator, I will have that car.
Yeah, I love the look of the factory hood and the front bumpers on them cars.
They slammed on some 18s.
It's an aggressive looking car.
It's a menacing car.
You got them two snouts up on the hood, the snorkel, and then the round fog lights on the side. My dad's car is it's a 95, and we're going to be doing the hood.
Yeah.
I think on that and the bumper swap on that too.
I think besides the Terminator, that's in my opinion the best looking, one of the best looking Mustangs
going down the road. And we actually took the cars out tonight. So me, Ryan, and Joe took the cars to dinner.
It was nice.
It was cool, man. Having rolling, 3 Terminators deep, going out to dinner.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. And each car had its own look, had its own sound. And it was fun. So
we got some cool Terminator stuff coming. We put that silver car through the paces today. She earned her keep today.
So I'm going to be working on a video for the next couple of days. We got a drone involved.
I burned half a tank of E85 doing pulls.
Yeah,
today.
And it was hot.
It was hot.
And
she took it though.
Yeah,
she took a beating today. And I usually don't drive that car. Like I usually.
And the exhaust.
Yeah.
You could smell that exhaust was
burning off. Yeah, because that Bassani catback's got like 300 miles on it.
Yeah, you could smell it out the back, and it was just like, she's getting hot.
Yeah,
and we got some cool footage of that comment, so stay tuned for that. That's going to take me a couple of days to put together because it's going to be a lot. But I do too. I would love, me personally, I would love to do that 96 to 98 Cobra motor swap and just slam it on some 18s.
Just a good platform. You've got a solid axle in there. It's a relatively light car. Yeah. It's a driver car. It's a lot like the Terminator, and it's unforgiving. And it's analog. You're driving the car. Yeah. You're not getting in there and pressing a button or turning a dial. It's not launching for you. It's a driver's car.
Yeah, you got, like I said, straight axle, non-IRS. They're light. And you put 400 at that car, it's going to.
And they're cheap. I mean, they're cheaper
because they're probably, most people, If they're not a Fox body guy, they're a new edge guy. For in that 2000s range, and 90 to 2000s range, you're mostly a Fox body guy or new edge guy. I think that SN-95 platform kind of just was overlooked a little bit.
Yeah,
and
it was overshadowed.
So you get it for a good deal.
I mean, that when the LT cars came out, they were mopping the floor with those things. But I think, well, we've talked about it too for the channel. We want to get a 96, 98 Cobra to do a Coyote swap. Yep. Whether it's a Gen 1 or a Gen 2, I think it's just going to be a matter of what we get.
What's available at that time.
When the time comes.
We don't have to, have something shipped in from across the country or go travel 9 hours to get to it.
But it's going to have AC. It's going to have functioning gauges. It's going to be, and I don't know if we're going to sell that or if we're going to keep that. We'll see. We'll see where we're at when we get there.
The problem is if I would love for us to get to a point where we can just buy the cars, keep them, and do a bunch of events with them. Yeah. But we gotta get to that point.
We gotta get there
where we can facilitate keeping them, building them, and kind of just taking them out here and there. So I think the first couple
we're gonna have
cars,
to be sold.
We're gonna have to just like the Fox. That's probably one of the prettiest Foxes we've had in our possession. I've had in my possession. I've had some nice ones. That one falls in line with that. And, we gotta push it out.
We definitely when we went, the Kenny Bell video hasn't dropped yet.
No. Stay tuned.
We went and helped a friend of ours. You've already seen that video at this point if you're watching this podcast. That should probably be out Wednesday, right?
That'll be dropping this week. Yeah.
So that's you watch the video, you'll hear the backstory on that car. But as we were driving over there, I was telling Chris, I'd like to get a Terminator roller. We would go in on it together and have a long-term project for the channel, something that in between project cars that we're flipping, we have something that we can go and work on for you guys to see. And that long-term.
That would be a keeper.
Because
it would be
probably be a DSG car.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm okay with that. I'm not opposed to that. I kind of like the screaming yellow. But we'll talk on that.
So that's something that's going to be put off to the side, and when we're kind of slow or don't have anything to work on, we're going to be like, hey,
let's tinker with the whatever. But again, we want a roller. We want something that we can just probably build one of the cleanest
from the ground up,
cleanest, nicest
shaved engine bay, Scott rod panels, wire tuck.
Don't leave nothing unturned.
Nothing's going to be. But we want a pile that's got to be put back together.
Yeah. There's one car that I'd love to get my hands on. And that's over by Alexis's house, and it's sitting outside, it's rotting away. It's a red fire car, but at this point it's pink.
Pink fire.
And I've left notes. I'm knocking on the door. I can't get a hold of anybody.
Maybe we need to get Joe to go over there.
Yeah. But but for you guys who are Mustang lovers, and you do have that 96, 98 car, our recommendation, to the point, on 3, or you can find a nice used.
Get a P1 off of Facebook Marketplace. You can probably find somebody that's selling the whole setup, the blower, the injectors.
Under $3,000.
Everything.
I've seen them. Under $3,000.
That's a good setup to make 400 wheel. That's a fun.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, injectors, fuel.
Yeah.
The whole kit. You know.
There's a big difference in what you have to do with the fuel system from running 93 to E85.
Yeah.
And if you're going to stay on 93 with a small Century blower, you don't need E85.
No.
You do, fuel pumps and injectors. You don't need lines. You don't need regulators. You don't need any of that. If you're going to go into the E85 realm, you have to go return style. It takes, I think it's 30% more fuel.
It burns 30% more. So you're going to be, if you're a guy that watches your fuel gauge, E85 is not for you.
I can tell you my silver car on the highway on E85 gets about 6 miles a gallon.
Yeah, it's not
5.5 to 6 miles.
It burns 30% quicker or more, however you want to say it, because it runs so much cooler, and the car just eats it, and it's you got 1,000, 1,200.
It's a game changer.
CC injector,
It's a game changer.
It is though. It really is. It's for cheap upgrade. You get some wheel horsepower out of just the fuel alone.
Yeah.
Tune it.
Yeah.
Throw some timing into it.
Yep. So on 3 kit, Vortec, Paxton, Pro Charger, gears.
Depending on your level and how aggressive you're going to be, possibly a transmission.
Yeah.
I run the one you have until
you get into porting heads with modular head shop. I don't even know if they do V heads anymore. I'm sure they do, but you're going to spend more getting the heads ported than you would buying a whole force injection kit. Used,
or possibly the on 3. I don't know what the on 3 is.
Modular head shop and all those places that port heads. That's not cheap because it's an insane amount of work.
It is,
and it's a craft.
It's a craft, and I'm just hoping that these crafts that are, God, I remember when you were just like, I got to get my heads ported. Yeah. You'd send them out. I hope it's a craft that stays around because with the way that the car industry is going, you're getting a turnkey Shelby for 70 to 100K, depending on the trim, but you're 800 freaking horsepower, So it's kind of scary. I'm kind of hoping that there's enough of these cars still on the road that a lot of these shops.
Look at all the prices on parts just for the Terminators. Yeah. I mean, the freaking intercooler brackets are bringing $350, $400. Stock parts are hard to find. Like anytime I see anything reasonably priced, I grab it. We have between the two of us, we have multiple totes full of parts. Yeah. So for you guys with the 96, 98, you're in the same boat of trying to find OEM stock stuff in good condition.
They don't reproduce that front bumper either. No. They don't reproduce that hood, I don't think.
They need to get with LMR on that one.
I mean,
they just wrecked the 01 Cobra bumper market.
Yeah,
they by really releasing that thing.
They did, but that thing.
We need some ambers from them too.
Why the ambers aren't released? And
you're happy about that because you have ambers.
I have them, yeah. But hey, I keep saying I got mine for virtually free.
We were following you today, and Brian was in the car with me. He goes, "Man, you need some ambers on here." I said, "Bro, I got 2 Terminators that both need ambers. That's $2,400. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't like ambers. Make myself feel better. I don't want
them." You can't lie because this guy's over here buying amber stickers.
I had the Fambers on there for a little bit.
On there. Hey, that video did pretty good though.
Yeah, we got a little bit of hate too.
Some hate too.
Yeah, people messaging me. Yeah, what are you doing? Cheap ass.
But
I'm busy spending freaking too much money on wheels. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day, how much money I have in just wheels in the garage, and I was nauseous from it.
10 was 10 grand.
Close to it.
Wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Wheels and tires.
Over 10 grand for wheels.
Wheels and tires, you got over 10K.
Sickening. In your garage. There's something wrong with us. You guys all can relate though.
Yeah.
we all have the same addiction.
I did run XXRs on my car for like 8 years.
There's nothing wrong with a nice set of replica wheels.
There's not.
You have turned me into a wheel snob.
Me, but I'm the guy
you got the custom wheels on there.
Yeah. Those one of one on my car, and I like it that way.
Yeah.
But no, for you guys who are riding with these SN cars, the 96, 98,
we love them.
We love them. We are a fan. We have talked about it on the channel before. We would love to get one to build.
Yeah.
And
send us down your car. We'll put a Paxton on it for you, a Pro Charger.
That's an easy install.
Yeah. We've said it a bunch. We're working on, trying to find a shop space, and we're going to get, a shop rolling for.
The biggest, not the biggest problem, an issue we're having is we call on shops, and they're like, yeah, it's for rent. What are you gonna do with it? Oh, we're gonna just build some cars out of there. Yeah, we don't want a mechanic in there. We're like, oh, well, we're not really mechanics. We're trying to explain it to them, like, hey, this is gonna be our personal cars. And it's going to be like occasional like channel build. And you're trying to explain it to them like, yeah, we don't want that. So
it's been pretty hard.
Mechanics have kind of ruined in our area these leasing these garages because, I talked to a guy, I said, all right, so you're like the third guy that said this. What's the problem? He goes, well, what happens is these guys get these cars, they're broke down, then they just leave their shop or they break the lease, and then there's 13 broken down cars that I don't know how to get rid of because there's title issues. I said, I can't get mad at you for that. I said, but
we need our own space because eventually we want to get a dyno in there
Yeah, we have plans. We have big plans. We have some dreams for this.
I want to do some tuning. I look at these guys that tune. If they can do it, I 1000% can. Yeah. Just like with the seats, the first set of seats I had upholstered in a Chevy that I had. I was looking at the guys in the shop, and I'm like, "There's no reason I'm paying these guys $1,000. I can do this."
Yeah,
no doubt. And
it's trial and error with anything.
I'm not afraid to tear into anything or take anything apart, or I know I'll figure it out.
And I think when you have some cooler heads around you too.
Oh yeah, to help for sure.
You guys can you guys do this at home too. Get some friends, looking at something, you're working at it, taking it apart. Just pay attention.
I owed to my grandfather when I was 8 years old. We would go to garage sales and he would buy VCRs. We'd bring VCRs home. This is showing our age a little bit here. And he'd tell me, take that apart and put it back together. I want it to work when you're done with it. Yeah. So I would take these VCRs apart, pull all the internals out of them, put it back together. Put it all back together. He taught me how to problem solve and just dive into something and figure it out.
That's cool though, man. Yeah, that's a smart man because knowing how to do what you do, working on the cars like you do, most people in the channel or even just watching, you may not be able I'm not tearing a motor down by myself. I'll tear a motor down with him because I think with him I can get through it.
Mm-hmm. I've built Cobra motors in the garage.
Yeah, but I can pull a transmission. I can do brakes. I can do a lot of the stuff I can get done in a day.
We've got enough resources and people around us to get into pretty much anything that we need. Yeah. And there'll be a big project coming up on the silver car at the beginning of the year. A huge project. It's not going to be a motor build, but it's going to be big. It's going to be big.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the bigger tasks getting accomplished on that car.
It's going to be down for a bit, so I want to get the red car done so we can still have a car to mess with. Yep. But so anyway, there's a lot of love here for the the SN cars.
Yep.
Even the 2-valve cars. It's a good platform. We did the 2-valve talk already. I think it was pod 2 or pod 3.
2 valves are great. I got one going in my Bronco.
Yep.
I mean, guys, don't get discouraged. You don't. We've also said before on the last podcast, I've always just tried to chase a number with my red car. I went with the biggest blower so I could chase that number. At the end of the day, I still think 400 wheel, 700 wheel, it's a fantastic, fun car. You can just get out with your friends, take a cruise by yourself and enjoy the hell out of it.
I mean, the silver car was making us smile.
The silver car got squirrely today. The silver car was
it was a handful.
Was a handful. There is something to that, but huge fan over here, guys, and we really do hope that maybe this helped the Brembos, the ATS, right?
Yeah,
bolt right on the car. Mm-hmm. So that's a quick, cheap upgrade.
Yeah.
Suspension. It's the 8.8 SRA. You can
do some iBox springs.
Do some iBox springs in it.
Shocks,
so you got your struts, brakes, little handling, caster camber plates. You guys, there's the sky's the limit with these cars. What's the dude's name that has the black cars? The really clean. I think the SN car, the Cobra. And I think he has a third one. They're all on like CCW Twisted Classics. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name. Super clean setups on these cars. Yeah. Facebook. Anyways, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Guys, those 96, 98 cars look dreamy with a nice set of wheels on them too. Yeah. So fitment on, get the fitment, all, the offsets on the wheels. Mm-hmm. Looks great. So.
But yeah, so we appreciate the suggestion on the topics. Keep giving us
comment below. Yeah. We do listen, we do watch, we do respond.
Yep.
And in that same aspect, guys, subscribe if you guys can, if you guys haven't already.
If you've got some better ideas to make that power, throw it in the comments.
Yeah. And maybe there's somebody who's chasing that, who's achieved it. What'd you do? Comment below, let us know. Yeah. I'll let everybody know. And we'll touch on that too.
Yeah.
So we appreciate everybody's time today. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast stuff. We're trying to get a little better, maybe having a little more time management with this stuff. So we'll keep it coming. Everybody seems to enjoy it, and we do as well. But it's Chris,
Ryan,
it's SVT Garage, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.